Hi, everyone. My name is Gaki Gituma. I'm so happy to see the 21 of you here. It's a very kind of chilly evening, depending on where you're watching us from. I'm very honored and humbled to be in this space and to be privileged to take you guys through the sales training process. And for me, what I usually call mine short and sweet. I don't like having so many information, so many slides. By the time you get to the fifth, you've forgotten what you talked about the first one. So for me, I always prefer we have such an engaging conversation. I don't call myself an expert. I usually say we are here to learn, relearn, because I call myself a lifetime learner. So I want us to engage, give your opinion, your subtractions, your additions after we're done with the presentation. And then from there, you can have the Q&A and just all learn from each other, okay? Otherwise, if you're happy and excited to be in this session, just give a thumbs up, say hi, and yeah, let's just give each other some good warm-up, and we just get straight into it. So for me, I think I prepared for you guys a bit of, post-disabled participant screen sharing.
Sorry about that. In a second, you're going to be able to share your screen. I hope you can now.
Yeah, so yeah. So I prepared something for you guys on the basics of sales. And so, but for me, I everyone, because we're all here as entrepreneurs, we all need to have some basic sales skills. We are all selling, whichever kind of business you're in, we are all selling. And selling is just a basic skill or rather an art that every one of us is supposed to be having. So basically, for you, if you want to get into sales, you must first understand. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we can see.
Yes, we can see your screen. We can see it. Yeah.
Exactly. So for me, what I believe is that for you to be able to sell, you must first of all understand the basics of sales. What is the entire selling process? How does it look like? What should you consider? What should you look at? So the first thing we usually look at when you're looking at basics of sales is what we call a sales cycle. When you get into sales, there's always something we call a sales cycle, and basically a sales cycle usually say it's a sales cycle is basically a series of events or phases that occur during the selling of a product or service. That's basically what a sales cycle is. It basically involves everything that you need to consider when you're getting into any sales process. Okay, so that's a sales cycle which usually has like 7 aspects of it. So the next thing we look at when you're doing the sale process is prospecting. If you look at the first look at this cycle, you can see the first thing the first stage in the 7 stages of a sales cycle is prospecting. The light blue square over there, the first stage is prospecting, and then next you go to the next, which is making the contact. So the first stage of the sales cycle is prospecting. And basically when it's talking about prospecting means it refers to identifying potential customers to generate new business. That basically what prospecting sales means. It's more so like when you want to identify a new business opportunity for your business. And when you look at prospecting, there are usually different ways of prospecting. We have the traditional methods of prospecting, and we also have the modern methods of prospecting. So when you get to the various ways of prospecting, the traditional methods of prospecting, we have networking event. If you're someone who really likes attending networking events, you really know that it's a very good opportunity, or rather, it's a very good avenue for you to meet new clients, network, make new connections. So networking, they are very good. They usually offer very good opportunities for you to do your prospecting, or rather to identify your potential clients. Referrals, that includes word of mouth. Referrals are a very good and traditional method, or even modern one. They're a very good way of actually prospecting, or rather getting new clients. Cold calling, which refers to calling a contact that you've not met before, you don't know, you're just trying to establish and introduce yourself to them. That's what we mean by cold calling. Articles in newspapers, whether it is articles regarding, whether it's a business article, something about maybe a new venture coming up or things like that. Sales letters were sales letters nowadays they're no longer in use, and also door to door, which is yeah, these are traditional methods, so they are. Some of them are a bit obsolete, you no longer use them, but just put them for you just in case so you can know the different methods of prospecting, which are traditional and modern methods. So we are done with traditional methods, and that was just a sneak peek of what traditional methods involves when it comes to sales prospecting. So the next we go to modern methods of prospecting. Number one, we have social media. Social media, I think right now it is the next big thing when it comes to either marketing a business or even getting clients. So social media is a very, very big, one of the best actually methods to prospect or rather to identify your potential clients. Sharing worthy content. This is sharing worthy content still on social media. You remember the kind of content you share on social media, tell that it is what will establish whether you're gonna get clients from those such kind of content or whether you're gonna make conversions or get traffic to whether to your page or to your site. So sharing worthy content is really it's very key in actually getting your potential clients. Also social media search. So many people actually right now, if maybe for instance, if I wanted maybe like a service, maybe like a HR consultancy service or maybe some legal advice on something, I would definitely just go on Google and search any HR. I just search HR company or general legal firm that I want to, whether I want whichever kind of service I want legally, and then you're able to see all those companies on Google search, and you're able to identify whatever company that you want to contact for that particular service. So social media search really helps, especially if you fully optimized your profile, your pages. That comes in handy when you talk about search engine optimization. Advertising, also another good method of prospecting. This advertising can either be social media advertising or the traditional methods of the billboards, TV advertisements, which nowadays I think people are really moving away from them because their conversion are a bit, they're not measurable as opposed to social media advertising. So advertising is also a very good way of prospecting. Emailing, yeah, email marketing is also a very good way of actually identifying your potential client. It's also a very good way of reaching so many people, especially when you're dealing with bulk emails, and especially for the guys who use MailChimp, it is a very good way of prospecting. When it comes to emailing, you can either do cold emailing or warm emailing. Then you have social media community groups. Nowadays, you have a lot of WhatsApp community groups. You also have a lot of Facebook community groups that are talking about. There are different pages about whether it is home, whether Facebook or pages about anything to do with home, interior decor, about relationships, about building and construction. There are so many Facebook and social media community groups that you can join and that can give you a lot of potential clients or rather potential leads and prospects. So that's just a wrap of the modern methods of prospecting, and you've also covered the traditional methods of prospecting. So at least right now we've known how you can easily identify your potential clients or rather your potential prospect, either through modern methods or the traditional method. So the next step in the sales cycle after now prospecting, which is trying to identify your potential business, your potential client, the next step or the next stage in the sales cycle, it is making a contact. After your prospect, you establish a potential lead for your business. The next thing, you try to make a contact with this particular lead. So making a contact basically involves, after you've identified your dream client, reach out and build a connection. It can either be a call, email, text, or social media. For instance, let's say for instance, you attended a networking event, you made contact with this social media lady. So after making that contact, the next day, since you've already met this person, you exchanged contact, the next day you can reach out to them on how they can help you, what they do, the scope of their work. And from there, at least you can establish a contact on how you guys can either work together or maybe the service provider can do a pitch and tell you or about the business and how they can help you Yeah, so that is basically what it involves when you talk about making contact. So making contact is the second stage of sales prospecting. Then the third stage of sales prospecting, the third stage of sales cycle is qualifying your prospect. So after prospecting, the second thing is making contacts. Now you've already made contact with your potential lead or your potential lead. The third stage is now qualify your prospect. Qualifying your prospect is where you learn about your prospect goals, their challenges, their budget, and other decision-making factors. At this stage, you establish that you are talking to the right decision makers. At times you may call someone, maybe, especially when it comes to cold calling, you may make a call to this office, and mostly they usually give maybe their admin number or their customer service number. You talk to this person, you do the pitch, I'm this and this, or do. So you spend like maybe 2 or 3 minutes trying to pitch to this person, and maybe it's just someone at the admin, someone who does not even have the right even to make the decisions. They don't even understand what you're talking about. So instead of you wasting a whole like 2 or 3 minutes trying to pitch and explain your business to this particular person, first understand whether you're talking to the right decision maker. This is whereby you make a call, introduce yourself, and then you ask, can I please talk to the person in charge of sales, the person in charge of marketing, your PRO? You see, it's always good to try to find out whether you're talking to the right person to avoid waste of so much time, and also to ensure that you're talking to the right person and the right decision makers, such that if they're not the right decision makers, they can kindly or rather politely refer you to the person, or rather the people who make decisions for that particular inquiry that you're making. So after qualifying your prospect, the next thing is nurturing your prospect. Nurturing your prospect, this means it's where you do, it involves educating your prospects about the general product, your service or industry, personalizing your communication, and addressing common challenges. This also, while nurturing, you are working to establish a reputation for being helpful, responsive, and a reliable resource in your area of expertise. So when it comes to nurture your prospect, now you've already done the prospecting, you've already made the contact. So now, when it comes to nurturing your prospects, they now need to understand what service you're offering to them. What are you planning to do to them? What solutions? Remember, by the way, when it comes to sales, your clients want to know, how is your service or rather your product beneficial to them? How is it going to help them? For instance, if you're selling skincare products, you're selling like, say, sunscreen. For me, I'm not interested at how, whether it is good quality or how expensive it is, or whether it is the best brand or not. What I'm interested in is the results that I'm going to get after using that sunscreen. If you're saying to me moisturizer, I want to know whether my face is going to look moisturized really well when I use the moisturizer. So the client, you remember at the end of the day, the clients really care about the result or rather the benefits they get from using that particular product. So nurturing your prospect, you're trying to educate them. Like there's I do say that she's in the insurance sector, she helps people to retire rich, whether I got it wrong, whether I got it right, I hope I got it right. As in, you're trying to educate them the importance of getting that life policy. How, if you want to retire, you can retire at least with something on the side whereby you know at least you're gonna enjoy your retirement with some investments. So this one where you try to educate your client or rather your prospect on how your service or how your product, it will benefit them. If you're selling to them sofas, the client wants to know how comfortable that sofa will be to me when I buy it. That is what they care about. They care about the results, the benefits, the experience. So make sure when you're nurturing your prospect, you're really trying to educate them and really give them that severe education on how your product or rather your service is going to help them. This actually, it even shows your expertise. You see, the moment you're able to understand your clients' pain points and give them a solution, they also view you as an expertise in that area. So nurturing your prospect involves all that. Then the next step is now presenting your offer. After you've nurtured your client, you've made the contact and all of that. Here now is where you come to present your offer, because you've already established a relationship, introduced the kind of service offering. Now you want to present your offer. So here we talk about keeping your offer very relevant, targeted, and personalized to the needs you previously discussed. Connect your offer to their challenges, budget, and long-term ambitions. Also provide them a solution. After all, you're supposed to be a solution solution to them. You're supposed to be a problem solver actually to these clients. Finally, think about creative ways you can present and package your offer. When you present your offer, tell clients when you use this product, you'll get a change after 2 or 3 days. When you use this, if maybe like your clients maybe has always been having an issue of back problem and maybe you're selling to them orthopedic mattresses, sell them after you start using these mattresses from today. After 3 days, you no longer have back pains. You no longer have back problems. As in, present your offer in such a way that you're presenting that solution to the customer. If you're trying to sell to me this if you're trying to sell to me maybe like an investment policy, you tell me after 5 years, just imagine getting a lump sum of 5 million in your account. What can you do with that money? So presenting your offer, it involves presenting it in such a way that you're presenting a solution, or rather the benefits that that client will get. Don't tell them, oh, so you're cheaper than this other person, or product is better quality. No, the client doesn't care about the quality, about how cheap or rather expensive your product is. They care about the offer is the solution you're presenting to them and how it will benefit them. So make sure you package your offer in such a way, when you're presenting your offer, you're packaging it in such a way that you're giving them a solution that you use this tomorrow or after 2-3 days, you will see a difference, you see some changes, okay? Just be creating that you're presenting your offer. It's so salesy, because the moment it becomes so salesy, the client will just see you just after money and then just keep off. But just be that person who just giving them solutions. And after they will listen to you and they will just buy your offer, right? After presenting your offer, you know that one of the biggest problems you usually have is that you do your pitching, present your offer, but there will always be objections. There are always people telling, oh, your quality, you're expensive, you're like this, you're not like these other clients. So now when it comes to overcoming objections, these are you overcome objections from such clients. First of all, justify how your offer is the best option. Why is your offer the best option? Don't tell them you're the best option because you're cheap, or because we got which award, or Just overcome those objections by just trying to tell people how this solution is the best for them, how yours will work as opposed to whatever that they had that didn't work. Okay. Like for instance, if you get a client, maybe if you're in the beauty, you're in the skincare industry, you have this client who has been having so many issues about maybe acne for years. They have been buying this product, they're not working for them. Make sure you justify this product that you're selling to them. If it's gonna clear acne, just justify how their acne problem will disappear forever, as opposed to the previous years they've been using all those other products from your competition that is not working. So make sure you justify your offer so that you're able to overcome such objections from clients. And then when it comes to objections, you don't have to really justify about your pricing, because at times clients, they don't care about your pricing, they just care about the benefits they get, what is in it for them, okay? So the next thing you need to do to overcome objections is, you realize the most common objections, they usually include like price versus value, risk, content of the offer, contract terms, and so much more. So if you have clients who are giving objections to price, just counter it by giving them the value your service will offer to them, the value your product is offering them, the risk that they avoid by using your service or rather your product, the content that is in your offer. If maybe like you're selling courses, just try to educate them on the content that is in that course that they're gonna learn, it's gonna help them, and how they can monetize it, okay? And then the other way to overcome, the other way is that when you're looking at objections, the best way to get the real root of the objection is to ask more questions. Once you've asked a question, remember to listen carefully to their answer rather than preparing what you're going to say next. Yeah, when these clients give you objections, just try to ask them more questions. Like when someone tells you, I'm sorry, I need to, like those people, maybe like those businesses that are run. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, sorry about that. I have muted Julius.
Okay, thank you. So at times, you may come across those family-run businesses whereby maybe you meet the wife and then she tells you, I'm sorry, I'll have to consult my husband first. You can just go ahead and ask her, are you going to consult your husband based on the price, or what is that decision that you cannot make now that your husband must make that decision? You see, if you ask her that question, she will tell you, yeah, it is because of the price or these other things. So if you ask such a question, you will really get the answer as to why they need to ask someone else and not give you the final answer. So listen to the questions there. The question that you ask, listen to the answers very well and try to get solutions for them. And if you're able to overcome those objections and really not allow them to go and consult elsewhere, since this person is a part of the decision maker, you will have won actually the client's hearts. Just try to ask more questions and learn why do they want to consult a third party. It works better that way. So last of it all now is now closing the sale. After you've overcome the objections, you've managed to present your offer, overcame the objections that they have brought ahead. Now it is the time to close the sale, which is, I think, is the most exciting bit for every salesperson. But today I'm going to close the sale, I'm going to sign the contract, I'm going to sign that agreement. So closing the sale not only confirms engagements, but also works to set up next steps. You can ask for a starting date or offer an extra benefit if they sign today. So basically, when you're closing the sale, it's no much of a thing because you've already gone through the entire selling process, the entire cycle of nurturing, making contact, overcoming objections. Now closing the sale, you're just bring them the contract, the next step they need to take, the start date, whether it is the consultancy or whatever you're giving them. And then closing is also an opportunity to remind them of a specific results you believe you can achieve for their business. For instance, if maybe like you're offering digital marketing courses, when you're closing the sale, you need to tell these clients, actually, when you take this course, it is money back guarantee for you. You take this digital marketing course, it is money back guarantee to you because it is, maybe tell them it is a 12 course in one. You're starting 12 courses in one and the price is this and this. So when you're closing assets, it's always a good opportunity to also emphasize on the value you're offering this client and how it's gonna be a game changer for them in their business or in their career. You can also be a bit creative and show them the urgency or rather scarcity, like the price goes up at midnight or offer incentives. You remember there are times some clients may pull out at the last point of closing the sale. They're like, oh, I need to do this or do something. So just show your clients the urgency to sign up. If it is a course they need to sign up, show them the urgency. If there's a sale that you're closing, that's what you usually see, like maybe these furniture houses, or they usually have like their media sale, like the Furniture Palace, they usually tell you there is all the prices for all the furniture, it is 50% off, 70% off, 30% off, and and this sale is the deadline for the sale. The sale is ending maybe in the next 15 days, in the next 30 days. So when they give you that time frame, they're creating that scarcity and urgency for more people to come and buy and take advantage of the offer. Because if they don't tell you it is a 50% off for no items, if they didn't tell you this sale is valid for 30 days, you will not see the urgency because you see us Kenyans, we are last minute. So if they don't give you the urgency, you won't even see the urgency to go and purchase that particular item. But because they're giving you the urgency on the first, there is the urgency on there is an offer which is a 50% off on every sale. And also the offer goes for 15 days or 30 days. Everybody will rush by the day before the 30 days is over to just go and get therefore that product. So anytime you want to close a sale, just so you must show your clients the urgency so they don't just pull out the last minute. Just show them what they need to do as a matter of urgency to get that solution that you're offering for them, or to rather buy the product, or rather to get the service that you're offering to them. Make sure you always show them the urgency. Okay. So after closing the sale, after closing the sale, I think after that you all go happy as a salesperson. And at the end of the day, that's all we want. That's our goal, to establish a content and close the sale. So about basic of sales. I've just taken through you the entire basics of sales, which is basically the entire selling process, how you start, how you identify a prospect, making contact, and the entire process of closing a sale. So basically, if you want to understand sales or to learn sales, this is just the circle you're supposed to look at. This will clearly help you in selling and understanding how to go about your client and coming up with very good packages for them. This is basically what you should look out for. I hope that was just it. It was helpful. So for this, I think we just have a Q&A for you guys to ask questions, answer, give your opinion and all of that. So now I'm just wondering whether I go to customer service or we first finish on the Q&A for basics of sales. Maybe you can take me through. Faith and Lulu, you can guide me on this. Hello,
I dropped
Faith.
off for a second. Please come up again.
I'm saying I am
Yes.
doing the basics of sales. It is the time for Q&A, so I was asking, do I also just jump into customer service, or we just finish with the Q&A for basic of sales and then we jump into customer service?
I'm suggesting we just finish with customer service first and then have a general session for Q&A.
Okay. So now what I did slides for the basics of sales. For customer service, I didn't do slides, and the reason I didn't do slides is because for customer service, I feel it's something that we really need to engage all of us, because if customer service, I think it's the most important thing in any business. So for customer service, I'll just do a talk and we discuss on how to go about customer service, and after that, we can all ask questions on it. I hope that will still help. So let me just get into it. So I'm stopping my screen here and just talk about just have a talk on customer service. Yeah. So basically, when it comes to customer service, I think is the biggest, most important. Would I call it a virtue rather value? Actually, the most important factor to consider in any kind of business you're doing. Because whatever business you're in, if you don't have customer service, trust me, you don't gonna have repeat customers. So usually, for me, I usually take that if you have a sales team that you are able to build a strong customer service with, or other customer relationships, you'll be able to increase customer satisfaction and drive more sales. So when you're looking at customer service, for me, I look at solutions. How can you like have proper salespeople who offer good customer service to your clients? The very first thing that I usually look at for me is when it comes to customer service and the salespeople is just have training programs. Training programs, this is whereby you're talking about training programs on product knowledge and also customer interaction. First and foremost, if your employees do not have enough or sufficient product knowledge, trust me, they're gonna have a very difficult time selling. They're not gonna be able to sell your product. They will not be able to interact with your clients. So the first thing is to ensure that your employees are fully trained on the product or rather the service that you're offering, which makes them easier to explain to them, to pitch to clients, and to answer any kind of questions about that product or service. So customer service, it all boils down to first your employees, or rather your people, or even you as a person, understanding your product knowledge. And then other thing is customer interaction. This is whereby you're supposed to train your employees on effective communication skills, empathy, active listening, and problem solving. What I usually say, but then when it comes to any business, you must have that work culture whereby if as a boss, if you are rude to your employees, of course they're going to transfer that to your customers. If you're not able to have a very good work relationship with your employees, they're going to transfer it to the customers. So for your employees, always make sure you train them on how to interact with your customers. Just teach them basics of effective communication, courtesy, how to respond to customers, whether it is on call, when a customer walks in, they're able to greet them in a nice way, welcome them. Because just imagine you walk into, like you see, for us women, we are so random when it comes to shopping. We do window shopping a lot. You just enter into this mall, you've identified a very beautiful dress, and you enter into this shop, you find two ladies seated there on their phones. They're not even interested with even the fact that you've walked in, they're not even welcoming you. They're all just not even bothered with you. That those are employees who are not trained well on customer service. Because you see, customer service involves how you even welcome people to your business. So customer interaction is very, very, very key when it comes to customer service, or rather boosting customer service in your business. I think you should focus on when you're dealing with customer service. It is feedback mechanism. At times when a client comes to your shop, maybe they buy a product or whatever kind of item they're purchasing, or even the guys in the service industry, it is always nice to try and get feedback from these people. You can either use maybe those, you can use surveys, you can use those bulk SMSs, you can use feedback forms. Nowadays we have Google Forms where you can even send to people, they can answer, or rather give you responses on their experiences shopping with you, whether it is maybe like a dress you sold to them, how was it, did it fit nicely, whether it is maybe like a consultation you did to them, you asked them how it was to their people, whether it was transformational, whether it was of good health, whether it solved the problem that they had. So feedback actually is really good for your business, and it actually makes you do your business better. It makes you actually improve on some areas, know what to do better, what to drop and what to continue with, what to start as a new thing in your business. So feedback is really important. Like at times you see, you find that when you visit Java, when you pay via M-Pesa, they usually send you an SMS asking you for a survey about the service. That's basically that survey actually helps them a lot on how they know they can craft better customer service for the clients, or how they can improve on their menus and all of that. So actually those feedback, those follow-up SMS you usually get, like from eateries that you visit to, they are very important by then to those people. They are very important to them. Because you see, there are people who are not able to go to their social media and rant or rather give reviews. But you see, if you respond to their service, but they say I didn't like this and this, it makes them improve or do better in whatever that they're doing. I think is should have clear communication channels. Ensure your customers can easily reach your sales team through various channels, maybe phone, email, chat, social media. Yeah, so anytime, make sure you have a channel through which your customers can channel their queries, their any kind of communication that they want to reach to. Maybe they want to inquire about something, they want to inquire about something. Make sure whether it is on social media, you're very active on responding to their queries on social media. If it is on email, you've dropped an email whereby they can channel their issues or anything they would like to communicate with you guys, or rather to inquire from you. Also phone, make sure you're readily available on phone, whether it is the customer service or the admin, they're readily available on phone, such that it becomes a very good channel for your customers to have a good communication between the business and the customers. Okay. Then the next thing you need to consider about customer service is efficient problem resolution. This is where we develop a structured process for handling customer complaints and resolving issues promptly. For instance, at times you may have issues whereby you have, let's say, for instance, guys who are in the business of trading. Maybe you're selling clothes, you're buying clothes and selling. At times you may, because you see that nowadays there's so many people are doing everything online, like selling clothes and all of that. Maybe you're in Nairobi, you're shipping this outfit to Kisumu or to Mombasa. The outfit gets here, maybe it is the wrong size, it is the wrong material they didn't want, or the wrong shade of the color. At times you should have very efficient problem-solving channels that people can communicate to. This is what I wanted, I didn't get it correctly, or maybe they wanted a red outfit to confuse and give them a white one or a blue one. You should always make sure you have efficient channel to solve those problems, not to just tell them, oh, this is what you ordered. Because I see so many online buyers complain about things they buy online, and this clearly shows a lack of efficient problem-solving channels for particular businesses. Because if a client tells you if there is proper documentation that this client ordered a red outfit and then make a confusion and send to them a white one, you should be courteous enough and just be able to solve that problem and whether do a refund or send to them the whichever item that they required. You should always have efficient and very diplomatic way of solving or rather sorting out such issues. Then we have something else we call personalization. This is where you use customer data to personalize interactions and tailor-made recommendations based on customer preferences and history. At times, when you have your customers, it's always going to show them that you really care about them, personalize their experience when they come to your shop. Show these customers they're very important in your business, they matter, interact with them in a very personal way, try to humanize your product, rather your service. Because you see, at times, you customers, we just like people to understand our situation and rather to feel a bit important in the business. So make sure every experience with any customer, you try to personalize it, and that way they'll feel more appreciated. Also, I think we need to do about customer service is following up. After you offer any service to a client, whatever product you've sold to them, and you've made a very good sale, always ensure that you follow up with a client to know whether they like the product, the service is good for them, did it give them the benefit they wanted. If maybe like if maybe like, for instance, these courses that you had done some courses maybe on personal branding that you trained like you give them a 4-week course on personal branding, at least follow up with them after like 3 weeks or 4 weeks to know how did it go, how are they faring on their personal branding? Is it their personal brand better now that they undertook your course? Always make sure you do a follow-up at least to ensure that your clients are really satisfied with your service or rather your product. And then when you do a follow-up with the clients, they can clearly see that you're not only interested in the money, but you're also interested with their experience with your service. They can see at least you're part of them and you're trying to understand that they are part of your community. So when you do a follow-up for someone, they usually even feel actually so appreciated. And that is something I think we really miss out on us as salespeople. When you close the sale, we always forget to do follow-ups, which really actually even may make you lose a lot of business. Because you see, follow-ups really shows the client that you're part of them and you're empathizing with them and you're really part of their process. So follow-up is very key in any sales process. Follow-up is good. Because you see, at times you may follow up and really find a very bad review. And maybe at times if you don't follow up, the clients may get a very bad review about your service. They ditch you, they go to your competitor, and then when you try to follow up maybe after like 6 months, they're like, I didn't like your product and all of that, and you see you didn't even communicate back and tell me what happened. So I just decided to go to another service provider. So at times when you do follow up, actually you can even mitigate so many issues in your business. So follow-up is really good for other salespeople, which aids in good customer service. Other thing is continuous improvement. Encourage a culture of continuous improvement by regularly updating training programs and staying current with industry best practices. Of course, you should always be constantly training your salespeople, training your employees on either good etiquette, good customer service, on how to handle different products, clients, and all of that. Because you see, everything right now is changing. We must keep up with the industry trends. So if you do not keep on doing trainings, team building for your people, making them actually feel part of the business, understand why they need to do this and how they need to handle clients, you will really be out of business. So continuous improvement in your business, it's as a whole, holistically, is really key in boosting your customer experience, customer service. So basically, that's the 7 points that I had for winning customer service. And I just did a wrap in a very short time. For me, like I always like to have a very engaging and conversational conversation, but people don't really get bored. Yeah, so that's it for service. And I think right now I will take it back to my team, that is Faith, to guide me whether we just get into the Q&A or whether there's something else we need to look into before we get into the Q&A session. Faith?
I think that was a nice presentation, Gaki. And maybe we can just move on to Q&A. Guys, we just asked for like 10 minutes of your time. Are we allowed to take only 10 minutes of your time?
Yeah, that's okay. That is okay. That is okay. Any questions, opinions, additional subtractions? You're welcome.
Anyone with a question, kindly just raise your hand.
Hi there.
Hi, Gregory.
Hi, thank you for such a powerful presentation.
Yes, thank you.
I think my key takeaway from the training is follow-up. That we as salespeople tend to forget about follow-up. We initiate conversation and end up leaving those conversations open for too long. And in the process, we allow the prospect to consider other options. And it's what we say that out of sight, out of mind. I was reading somewhere that it takes up to about 5 follow-ups to convert a prospect to a customer. And in fact, when I was thinking about this training coming up, I was pursuing one prospect for an appointment, and I can relate with what you're saying because it took about 3 emails, 4 text messages, and about 5 phone calls to secure the appointment. So any person who is not resilient enough will give up. And in the event, you're not able to close and convert any of those opportunities that arise. So thank you very much. That was such a good presentation.
Thank you, Gregory, for that addition. I appreciate. Follow-up is very, very key in any business or salesperson. Thank you. Any additional question? We are all here to learn. Any question on customer service, on sales? We can just shoot it up. We answer. 1G, Miriam Wihaki, 1G. Are you still with us?
Hello. Yes, I am. Yeah, but I'm so happy to be here. That is a whole course. So thank you for that. We really appreciate. And just to add up, just to make sure we emphasize the importance of this thing, because now I believe now everyone here has like some basics for business. You follow up and you follow through. Like what that guy said, Gregory, it took calls, it took what. So it's just not a matter of following up. You also need to follow through and make sure it's done. So yeah, thank you so much, Gaki. That was really nice. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, Angie. Thank you, Mary.
I think
yes, David,
Muller,
go ahead.
Yeah.
David Muller, my good friend. Hi, David.
Hi, Gaki. Thank you for a very exciting session.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So mine is not a question. It's just an addition to the great presentation that you have made. And I wanted to emphasize something on the prospecting bit in the sales cycle. And this is about creating and exploring customer points when we are overcoming objections. And I just have one word, if I may say, or a statement that if the cost of not investing is not greater than the cost of your product or service that you're offering, then the customer will not invest. So that is how important overcoming objection is in regards to creating and exploiting the customer pain. The customer needs to see the pain of not going with your solution. So that's all from me. Otherwise, thank you very much.
Absolutely, Mulu. Thank you so much for that addition. The customer needs to see the pain of not investing in your product or service. Thank you so much for that, David.
Just a quick question, just maybe to help those who are in that cocoon of, approaching clients and following through and reaching out many times can be something else. So where do we draw the line between you not looking desperate and you facing the objections and pass. I know you get my question. So what is the line? How do you know not to cross that line of coming out as desperate?
Thank you for that question, Mary. I think first and foremost, you see, just like the point that David just said, number one, we need to show the clients the cost of them, what they are losing by not investing in your service. Because you see, for you to what you're supposed to be to a client, you're supposed to be a problem solver. You're coming to this client as someone who is bringing solutions to them. Not that your product is cheap or you're better than the other competition. You're coming to a client as a problem solver. You're coming to them to offer solutions. So if you're able to nurture your prospect and show them the value you're selling to them through this service or product, definitely you're not trying to look desperate, but you're trying to show them the value that you're giving them. Because you see, at the end of the day, what you're supposed to sell as a salesperson, you're supposed to sell value, not the product or service. You're supposed to sell value. What is the need for me as a client if I use this product, if I use this service, what it is for me? So the moment you show the clients the value you're offering them, the moment you show them the benefits, the moment you show them the result they will get after using your product or service, they will actually feel the pain of not actually investing in your service or in your product. And you don't have to look salesy, just like I told you. They will see the pain of not investing that value addition, that value that you're selling to them. I don't know whether I've answered you, Mary. Focus on the results that you're selling to your clients. Focus on the results, not how good your product is. Focus on the results they will get after using your product or service. That gives you an upper hand.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Gaki, if I may just build onto your case to that lady's point, question. Maybe one thing that may also be very helpful for you, I don't remember which it was, but she also needs to understand not everybody can be your customer, and you have to be comfortable with that, right? You cannot have everything for everyone, right? So you really need to identify what is your niche, and build a value around it, and do not erode that value for the sake of a low ball offer. So always be prepared to walk away if you feel they are not your ideal customer. That is also very important.
Thank you for that, David.
Yeah.
Thank you, David. Yes, yeah. Everyone cannot be your client. That's very true. Okay, another additional subsection opinion.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Yeah, my name is Henry Kariuki, and I work for Gemini Arrive. And my key takeaway to this presentation, I think the first impression that you give to your clients determines a lot whether you can close a sale. And also another takeaway about the customer service, because also it determines whether you're going to retain the client. So in insurance, we come up with a pipeline where you divide in terms of the cold prospects, warm, and hot prospects. So that one determines to tell you on where to focus, because the way one has said, not all your clients can, not all your prospects can be, you can convert to your client or a customer maybe. So you need to have a pipeline. You divide it into three: that cold, warm, and hot. About the customer experience or the customer service, if you have that skills, determines whether you can. It's very easy to retain a client than getting a new client. That's my takeaway.
Thank you, Henry, for that addition. Thank you so much, and the fact that you learned something today. Thank you so much for that. Any additions, guys? We also want to learn from you. No one is an expert. I'm not an expert. I'm also learning. So we are here to learn from each other. No one has monopoly of knowledge, of information. I mean. Aha, Taka Hatego. The stage is yours. Go ahead, Hatego. Hatego, you can ask your question, please. Hello, Taka Hatego. We are waiting for your question, your addition, your subtraction. Okay. Maybe he's muted.
You might need to unmute. Oh, no, you're not being heard actually. Maybe you can go ahead, write it down in the chat. Then we can read it out. Any other person just before we close it? In the meantime, as Taka is typing out her question, I just want to take this chance to invite us all to the 20X African Entrepreneur Community. I have just shared the link on our chats. So you can just take a minute or a second to click it, and then you'll get admitted to the 20X African community. So in this community, we specifically aim to help each other grow professionally through shared insights, experiences, and resources. We also facilitate referrals and connections within the community to support business expansion and collaboration. And also we have market days organized for you where you can showcase your products and services in an orderly manner. And in this community, we basically foster engagement and opportunity exploration. So like today, we had a guest speaker in Gaki who was able to speak to us. So you can just take a minute or two, click on that link, and then I'll grant you access to the community. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, I'm sorry I couldn't raise my hand. I don't know what happened. I had a question.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, when one is marketing on social media, for example, some of the products, I find it difficult to put the cost of that product just in the first instance of sharing it. Because sometimes if it's, let's say, consultancy, it depends so much on what the client will want. So sometimes, and in some of the groups, like WhatsApp groups, they tell you you cannot advertise unless you put the cost of whatever it is you're advertising or selling. What would you suggest?
Thank you for your question, Kez. I think when it comes to consultancy, I don't know what kind of consultancy you do. So when it comes to
Tourism.
Sorry?
For me, I do tourism.
Oh, tourism, travel. So when it comes to consultancy, I'm sure it has so many dynamics, and unlike products that we just put address, it goes for 2,500. Consultancy is very hard to do that. And when you're doing your marketing on social media, I'm sure there's always that call. There's always that call CTA, or rather that action that your client is supposed to take. Either call now, or send message now, or DM now. So when it comes to consultancy, since it's something that you cannot just put a flat rate on your services, it's always good to have that CTA, or rather that action button on what people are supposed to do to reach to you for a further consultation. Or like if it is on LinkedIn, you can either have that 15-minute or 30-minute free discovery calls for clients to enable, for you to be able to reach those people either within that 15 or 30 seconds. They get to tell you what they want, and then from there you can advise them on the kind of service you offer them in the packaging. So I think when it comes to marketing your services, like whatever that you're doing, you don't really have to put the pricing, because that becomes a bit of a challenge, because I'm sure there are so many dynamics that involves in it. So when it comes to social media marketing, just ensure that you have a proper CTA and also an action button that people just click to it, and then they get to you, and you get to have a chat with them on all that they need, or rather their pain points, and then from there you're able to explain to them. The same thing as opposed to these WhatsApp community groups that we have. You need also to have the same thing, that when you put up your post, you just need to tell guys how they can reach you for a further consultation, since for yours is something that you cannot easily just quantify by just placing a price. So I think for me, that's the best way I would answer it. I don't know whether I was of help.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Or David, are you still with us? You can maybe help with a few additions. I don't know whether David Mule is still with us. Okay, fine. If I was of help, Kez, I'm happy that at least I assisted you on that bit. Okay. Taka is it? I don't know. I'm not sure that it is he or she. So Taka, if I don't know whether you're able to write down your query. Was it a query or rather an addition? I don't know whether you're able to get it, whatever Taka was asking or wanting to contribute.
No, I can't see it on the chat yet.
Yeah.
I think then if we have nobody else, we can close it at this point. Unless there is any other question or addition. Well, I'm also going to share the recording with you guys. You will find it all in your emails.